When was the last time you were just sad? Not depressed, not experiencing a major depressive episode, just sad. When was the last time someone broke your heart and they were just an asshole, not a narcissist? When was the last time you faced a difficult Tuesday and it was just a bad day, not trauma? You've learned the vocabulary. You know all the words: gaslighting, love bombing, toxic, avoidant, neurodivergent, triggered. You've built an entire identity out of clinical terms you learned from 15-second videos. And look at you. Are you happier? Are you stronger? Or are you just paralyzed, sitting in a sterile room of your own making, armed with a dictionary of excuses for why your life isn't moving forward? Let's play this out. Let's fast forward, because right now, this vocabulary feels like a shield. It feels like protection. But let's look at where this road actually ends. 5 years from now. You've successfully diagnosed every quirk, every flaw, every moment of friction in your life. You've set your boundaries so high and so rigid that no one can ever disappoint you again. 10 years from now, you sit in your apartment. It is perfectly safe. You are perfectly undisturbed. But you are a ghost. You are a phantom haunting your own life. Because a life without friction, without the risk of getting hurt, isn't a life at all. It's a waiting room for death. 50 years from now, you are at the end. You look back, and you realize you didn't actually live. You didn't love deeply because you were terrified of codependency. You didn't push through hardship because it was triggering. You didn't forgive anyone because they were toxic. You wrapped yourself in bubble wrap made of therapy terms until you suffocated. You became the eternal patient, a victim of everything, responsible for nothing. And the tragedy? The absolute crushing tragedy? No one did this to you. You locked the cell from the inside. But I know why you did it. I know because it wasn't an accident. You were trained to do this. We handed you the internet, an algorithm optimized for engagement, and a culture that suddenly realized victimhood is a premium currency. Think about it. On social media, being normal doesn't get views. Being resilient doesn't get retweets. But having a condition, having a label, that gets you a community. It gets you sympathy. It gives you a built-in excuse for why you're not where you want to be. It is intoxicating. You stumbled, and the algorithm handed you a medical textbook and said, "Hey, it's not your fault you're failing. You have this." It's not entirely your fault that you fell for it. It's a brilliant, seductive trap. When you label a normal human flaw as a psychological disorder, it absolves you of the responsibility to fix it. If you're just lazy, you have to get up and work. But if you have executive dysfunction, well, now you need to rest. Now you are a patient. You weaponized vulnerability. You took the language designed to heal the severely ill, and you used it to build a comfort zone for your own mediocrity. I don't blame you for picking up the shield, but I am telling you right now, it is your responsibility to put it down. 4 years ago, I burned my life to the ground. I lost my closest friend. I watched a project I poured my soul into collapse, and I was miserable. But I didn't say I was miserable. I said I was burned out. I said I was experiencing severe clinical depression. I diagnosed my former friend with narcissistic personality disorder. I told myself I had to cut them off to protect my peace. I spent months in my apartment, aggressively defending my boundaries against a world that wasn't even trying to attack me. I felt so self-righteous. I had all the right words. I went to therapy, not to change, but to learn new terms to justify my isolation. Until one night, I was sitting on the floor of my kitchen at 3 a.m., completely alone, and the truth hit me like a physical blow. I wasn't depressed. I was grieving a friendship I destroyed. My friend wasn't a narcissist. I was just arrogant, and they finally got sick of it. I wasn't protecting my peace. I was a coward, hiding from the consequences of my own actions. I was using the language of healing to bleed out in comfortable silence. That realization destroyed me. It was the most agonizing pain I had ever felt, because for the first time in years, I had no clinical excuse. It was just me, my mess, my fault. But you know what happened the morning after I stopped diagnosing myself? I started living again. And this is what you need to understand. This is the shift. What if the things you are pathologizing aren't diseases to be cured, but the very tools you need to build your life? What if your anxiety isn't a disorder? What if it's your body's alarm system screaming at you because your habits are trash, your sleep is terrible, and you're wasting your potential? It's not a sickness, it's a call to action. What if your sadness isn't depression? What if it's just the tax you pay for caring about something in a chaotic world? What if the awkwardness, the friction, the heartbreak, the triggers, what if that is just the raw material of human existence? Stop treating normal human suffering like a medical emergency. Discomfort is not trauma. It is the weight you must lift to grow strong. Loneliness is not a pathology. It is the silence required to finally hear your own voice. The moment you strip away the clinical labels, you take your power back. You are no longer a patient waiting for a cure. You are a participant in the brutal, beautiful, messy arena of real life. Your superpower isn't your perfectly articulated list of mental health boundaries. Your superpower is your ability to hurt, to bleed, to get up, and to keep walking, without needing a doctor's note to explain why it was hard. So here's what you are going to do. When this screen goes black, I want you to do one physical thing. Take out your phone, open your bio, your notes app, or wherever you keep that little list of excuses you've curated for yourself. Find the label you gave yourself without a professional in the room, the one you use to explain away your inaction, and delete it. Erase the word. Then, put your shoes on, step outside, feel the cold air on your face, and for the first time in a long time, allow yourself to just feel uncomfortable without trying to diagnose it. You are not broken, you are just alive. Stop trying to cure that.